Welcome to a special event with yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragan, androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one kingdom, the Dragon Kingdom and the Dancing Goddess Empire, one empire of the sun and the stars and the moon, on earth for world peace, international justice, global freedom, ensuring and securing global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and nature. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, being reborn during this COVID. Adrian Hanna Dragan, independent artist, athlete, and activist, and yours truly, world peace advocate. On this special event, Scorpio month work, we're gonna do a Trinity: mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. Learning, working out, training, exercising with this barrel of water. As you can see, as I've done past workouts, it is full of water. Water with fire, holy meat, some air. We're gonna do poetry, rap, chant, road to midnight special, Trinity, mind, body, and spirit, and with a fourth dimension, Scorpio fourth dimension astrology, which Scorpio is related to sexuality, death, sex and death, transformation, of course, not only death in a sense, but also a rebirth in many ways, transformation, and which yours truly is undergoing, and we are undergoing during this COVID, and have been. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, being reborn during this COVID. Yours truly, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, calling all willingly loving to join, support the mission, vision, and philosophy thereof, to attain world peace, international justice, securing global freedom by securing the three essential elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all, by the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army. Once we have those three essential elements secured for all, we can encourage people to work out, volunteer, do community work, and have a reset and counter with complementary covenant cooperative with the Dancing Goddess Army, officially international integrated dance league. We can organize mass dancing events for the mass cleaning of the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes, forests thereof. Therefore, work to attain harmony between civilization and nature. Although it will be an integrated dance league, will also balance in harmony and equilibrium to the existing patriarchal sports leagues: NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, Major League Baseball. Our brothers in those sports league, aforementioned patriarchal old boys club, encouraging and calling on y'all to support the Dancing Goddess Army, especially the NFL, by tripling the salaries of the cheerleaders ASAP. And yours truly, Ethan Hunter, Dragon Sport, LGBTQ. Of course, only one in the NFL Open. There's at least one on the field on each side, defense and offense, when the NFL is playing. You can bet on that. And many others who, for XYZ reasons, financial, personals, are still in the closet. This Halloween has been 7 years. 7 years since yours truly has come out of the closet. Pansexual, androgynous, pansexual, world peace advocate, independent student, and scholar, civilizations, wars, geopolitics, and independent artist, athlete, activist, underground rapper since 1996. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragon, rapper name CLASSWAR. Be rapping a little bit for world peace, discussing Scorpios. Who's the Scorpio there? Who's the Scorpio here? Up, down, left, right. I'm gonna be working with this barrel of water stretch. Already did more than 2.5 hours marching in Hawk Island, steel toe boots. Had to go do some drawing. I wanted to get some sun, and so we're gonna have a cup of coffee and we're gonna discuss sublimate sexuality. I'm gonna admit something. I'm gonna admit it. Broke my porn diet. I'm on a porn diet. Was supposed to be on a porn diet until tomorrow, actually. So broke my porn diet. This morning I broke it. I'm gonna take porn diets. What's a porn diet? Well, it's like a diet. Right? Struggling with XYZ. I was on a porn diet. I broke it. I'm going on a porn diet again tomorrow. Tomorrow 11/11 for another 11 days. So sublimating sexual energies, not repressing, because repressing, gonna bring germs, disease, all sorts of things. If we let them grow crooked in the night, our sexual desires, lusts, or thoughts, or feelings, or emotions can sublimate the energies, the sexual energies, with a black white or rainbow, is yours truly and yours truly. Sublimating the sexual energies to art, working out, training, exercising, doing volunteer working, and all this that we do. And I understand, of course, in channeling a lot of it and channeling the aggression in the sports. I'm calling on the patriarchal sports league, NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, who since 1984 have been making way millions of dollars annually. There's no women's sports leagues that even makes close to what the patriarchal old boys clubs make, let's be honest. And there's a few women here and there who make as much, of course. Not as much even as the sports leagues or individual athletes, but some women's sports figures, athletes do make, are multimillionaires. A few, not many. But there's not one sports leagues, women's sports leagues that even makes close to the economic, financial, commercial profits, benefits, and riches that the aforementioned patriarchal sports leagues, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, Major League Baseball, European soccer make. Calling on them, support the dancing goddess, and finance, mass finance, the youth, the young especially, to work out, train, exercise, which has been and is and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. Do feel a bit sore, so I'm gonna do it. I did a double header yesterday, March to World Peace, for my own medicine and therapy, which is working out, training, marching, exercising as is now, as I believe it is for many right here in this underground room. Office and Temple lost more than 77 pounds. Although I'm living the worst financial crisis of my adult life with this COVID, I'm investing in the body. No money to invest. Bitcoin, stock market, cryptocurrency, no money to invest. I'm actually in the minus, in the red of the bank already. But I'm grateful, thankful my rent is paid. My electricity bill is paid. 1/3 of my phone bill is paid. And got food, fourth dimension to that bill, Trinity. Got food to survive a few more days. Gonna get some coffee. I got this coffee. I'm thankful and grateful. Got this coffee. Which this coffee was made with black coffee. Comes from a red berry. And these coffee beans were made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother's son. And now it's 9:20 p.m. EST in Hawk Island. The sun is rising now over Japan, the Koreas, North and South China, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Nepal, Singapore, Thailand, India. Sun's rising and they dance. The goddess with her brother's son makes fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest, such as this black coffee bean was made from a red berry, was harvested by one of my brothers and sisters, whether in Latin America, in Colombia, or Nicaragua, or Costa Rica, or Brazil, or in Africa, Ivory Coast, or Uganda, or Vietnam, which has become a big producer of coffee somewhere in the world. I'm grateful. Financially struggling, admitted, although I'm open for business. Maybe by midnight we'll get that first donation. $1 commission. Dance for half an hour, dance for an hour. Can dance for more than an hour, you can bet on that. Can box the leaders of the free world for world peace. First, Donald Trump. Sing it this, ye Kanye. Dragon's fists will make Trump's nose grow like Pinocchio. His fist will make Trump's nose grow like Pinocchio. To world peace. So I'm grateful, thankful. I have this black coffee to drink, to exercise, give me some energy. Rent's paid, they can't kick me out. November 10, can write poetry, write songs, rap on Instagram, underground, philosophize, theorize, learn, and do push-ups, hog squats, and keep marching in steel-toe boots, and keep loving, continuing the I Declare Revolution, part of the 40-day Rite, which began November 5th, so it ends about 16th of December or so, more or less. Maybe that's why I'm getting no views. Say too much goddess. When I say goddess, goddess bless. When they say God, God every day, God, God. Yeah, yeah, God, God. And the goddess. When they say God, I say and the goddess. The goddess. I'm a little bit excited. From what do know, I'm a Scorpio. That's what it says on that I'm born. My driver's license. It says that I'm born Scorpio. And I'm gonna say the date a few days ago. Maybe yesterday, maybe 7 days ago, but I'm a full-fledged Scorpio. More than 7 days in the Scorpio, which starts October 23rd, between after Halloween and today. So I'm a full-fledged Scorpio. Paradoxically, I have more memories of past lives than my early childhood and adolescence and young adulthood. I remember most these past 7.7 years. That's what I remember most. Struggling, suffering pain and depression, and struggling precarious employment with financial struggles, and still making the libraries of the city of Montreal my second home, and the many libraries, books, thousands, tens of thousands of books I've read, devoured. During that time I've written thousands of pages in handwriting and type of theory, of which I'm sharing in a compendium way, in the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, and part of the Universal Revolutionary Centrism and Democratic Fusion, and my debt refusion theory. And I've written social, political philosophies and theory, embodied now, given in the past and now, the coming days in the compendium, weeks and months ahead. Through my debt refusion theory, I've written poetry, songs, written short stories, ideas for scripts, social philosophy and theories, and thousands of pages, and some of them in here, tens of thousands of them by hand, which I'm gonna have been sharing in the past days, weeks, and months, and will be sharing in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. Yours truly, Eternal Dragon, something exciting. I'm grateful. I got. Look what I got. Man, stop throwing dirt, poison, filth in my eye, brother. Now you want that piece of ass. Just ask. Yeah, you want that piece of ass. Just ask. Yeah, you want that piece of ass. Just ask. Nah, look at that. That's the best hoodie I ever got. Look at this hoodie. Best hoodie I ever fucking got. I love it. Has the official colors of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Dragon Kingdom. The Dancing Goddess are one kingdom and empire under the sun and the stars on earth. And there it is, red and green. In the front and in the back. Look at that. Has the dates. So this is a gift from my sister, who's oftentimes being a teacher and a friend. And to that trinity of being a sister, friend, and teacher, as the fourth dimension being my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. Actually, even these jeans are the best pair of jeans I ever got. It's from her. And not this. This I bought secondhand. $4. My first, for now, one and only dragon shirt. First shirt I got with a dragon. $4 in there. And this, mysteriously, about 7 years ago, found in my old neighborhood where I used to live. Caudate CDN Caudate in Montreal, and it's falling on the streets, marching on the streets about 7 years ago, so it's still in good condition. Took good care of it. Now I'm dancing a lot with it, so look at the back. It has dates, so we'll be reading some of these dates. And then I love it. Has the official colors, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, red of the Dragon Army, official color, and green, the Dancing Goddess Army, which are complementary, covenant and cooperative for world peace. Of course, the two institutions calling the creation thereof. By debt refusion, my theory put into practice. See? That. And NASA Explorer. And it has dates. So we're gonna check it out. Just awesome. Just smells good. I tried it yesterday. Smells so good. Feels so good inside too. But no, I didn't. I'm gonna wear it soon. Best. Wow, this is fucking good. And this coupled with the best freaking socks ever. Best socks. 2 pair of socks. Freaking rocking socks, man. So grateful, thankful. 2 pair of socks. One with an astronaut. And one with the stars. The NASA logo. And that is a great freaking birthday gift. Like I said, wasn't there, don't remember. But it's Scorpio. I'm gonna say after Halloween and before November 11th. It's my birthday. So in between Halloween, which is October 31st, and November 11th, somewhere in between. So I'm a full Scorpio. Scorpio lasts until about from October 22nd till about November 23rd. Some say October 23rd to November 24th, depends. So there's some one day that's some astrologers say it's October 22nd to November 23rd. Some say it's October 23rd to November 24th, or yeah, something like that. Regardless, I'm a Scorpio, and this is a Scorpio event for world peace, international justice, global freedom, and attaining harmony between civilization and with nature. And let's do a little bit of workout with this barrel of water for the upper body. This barrel of water is about 42 to 50 pounds. I'm training the upper body. Because it's 18 liters full, and it's full to the top. So 18 liters times 2.2, which is a pound. 1 liter is 1 kilo. 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. So thus, it is 40 pounds without the plastic barrel. So 40 pounds. Plastic barrel anywhere between 2 pounds to 10 pounds because it's thick. It has a thickness to it. It's big. So minimum 2 pounds, the barrel, to maximum 10. So anywhere between 42 pounds to 50 pounds. Haven't weighed it exactly. Maybe we'll weigh it, but on my scale, on my balance, we'll try maybe weighing it. Anyway, minimum 42 pounds to 50 pounds. I'm feeling it when I'm doing the exercise, so it's working. I've been working with it for 3 weeks now, 2.5 weeks started, and the coming days, weeks, months. Also got 2 others reserved since I wanted to get some water, so I got some water reserves. I said just in case. One of those mad people out there launching ICBMs now in a parallel life. Science, innovation, and technology would have been my chosen path, diverged in this life, in that parallel life. Satellites, ICBMs, supercomputers, micro gadgets would have been my universe in this life. Spirituality is a universal spiritual teaching student because I'm learning every day. Philosophy, sexuality, psychology, art, the irrational, emotional, feeling, and occult side of life. They have to go hand in hand, science and spirituality. And this is what we're discussing, because I am a living mirror, living proof of many of these aforementioned, such as neuroplasticity, which is the proven theory that even after a severe brain head trauma, which yours truly has suffered a few years ago, severe black sword. I was envisioning my sword with a black and white sword, double edge, one edge black, one edge white, and the handle rainbow with a goddess or priestess dancing on the snake and a lion and a hawk, the wings of this with a sword, a hawk or a phoenix. So I envision my sword, envision it in my mind. To be. So anyways, neuroplasticity through will, but you gotta put in effort and action, is the brain can rewire and heal and even become more powerful, stronger than it was prior to paradoxically having had severe head or brain trauma, whatever have you. I think it's a scientific miracle, if you will. Scientific miracle, which is nature is the greatest artist and also scientist sometimes. And yours truly, of course, also the Acquired Savant Syndrome, which yours truly has after severe trauma, and of course, acquiring new skills is what Acquired Savant Syndrome is about, and new skills and development. So maybe that's why I'm the best, although ain't got no money for the studio. Maybe 2021 I'm the best underground rapper, greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet. Best dancing millennial rainbow poet. And rap is part of my poetry, but underground rapping. Class War is the underground rapper name, my hobby. Rapping hobby. Rap a lot. Clip a lot. Kiss from the goddess where we won the god, where they at? With the dancing with the sun, that's what we had. Clipping they say God, but they don't hear the goddess what? Well, I say gotta balance with the scales, that's what's up. World peace. And I'm gonna let my main out for this one. Liberation is not easy, has not come without blood, sweat, and tears, whether political, sexual, gender, XYZ. For me personally and for Canadians, I'm Canadian, many past lives, many incarnations, and will not come. For North American civilization has not come, for Western civilization and for the world for that matter. I gotta ensure the Dragan army by securing the three elements, essential elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all in a public-private partnership, and by the Dragan army integrating with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces, securing food, housing, and transport for all citizens, allies, supporters, and subjects in a non-sectarian way, and then securing freedom and ensuring liberties and the balance between the public and the private and responsibilities with a reset and the creation of the global central bank by my theory put into practice of debt refusion. Work out. Yeah. I felt good. Ooh, I feel it. I felt it. Haircut. Can't afford a haircut. I was gonna volunteer. I was gonna self do it myself. It's not that long. Main out. Huh? How's the commission? Cut my hair. Commission. How much? I'll take food. I'll take wine. Take bottles of wine. 11 bottles of wine. For 11 inches. My hair. I got tiny hands. Tiny feet. The tiny little scar. Tiny big lick, and the kisses from the goddess. I say licks. Kisses from the goddess. I say licks. All the same flip. We gotta flip the script. 2021 November. Do the Scorpio free licks. Snake kiss. Androgynous, keep my name out of your mouth, bitch. Yeah. World peace. World peace. Scorpios. Again, warning. I have fact check, truth revealed. I've not blocked anybody yet on social media. You don't want to be the first. I give everybody a warning, a benefit of doubt, second and third chances of block. But if I want to hear barking dogs, I got a dog park not far away. I'm gonna go there, sit down on the bench, maybe smoke a joint. I haven't smoked in more than 31 days, more than a month now, so I smoke for recreation, can't afford a massage therapist, god damn it. But if I do want to hear barking dogs, I can go on the bench. I can hear them woof woof woof. Otherwise, if you're not gonna send love, blessings, kisses, you don't have to adhere to my spiritual beliefs in the goddess, dances with a bird of sun, although that's a fact. Goddesses' hairs over the trees, and they're 7 times my dragon rainbow ass size. 7 times my size. 7 times my size. They're big. The hairs on the goddess's body. Who gets that one kiss? From the goddess star-lit heavens, sent to the sister who dances with her brother sun, and that kiss turns into 93 trillions of kisses. That's a lot of kisses which are credited to yours truly, interest-free, gifted, in order to which have a sort of a clause, an understanding, a deal, which have a condition that I distribute it freely to my allies, armies, and supporters. For that trinity of being allies, armies, and supporters, thou art my family. Of Adrian, Hannah, Dragan, all willingly loving. If I can make y'all millionaires while I'm $10,000 in debt, minus 491 in the red at the bank, pay $4 a month so got protection. Millennials get it overdraft, don't pay the banks more, pay fees if you go in the minus and don't have overdraft protection, pay interest and pay like almost $38, almost $38. You go in the red if you don't got overdraft protection. You already make millions. Financially, worst financial situation of my adult life, I'm grateful. I got a piece of this. Got coffee, got some food. Food to last me for a few days, weeks, need be. Got $13 to buy more food for November. Got sugar. Got flour. Make myself cake. Improvise cake. I know how to cook a little bit. I got trillions of kisses. 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. A trillion has 12 zeros. A billion has 9. A million has 6 zeros. A million has 6 zeros. A billion has 9 zeros. A trillion has 12 zeros. I can kiss, make it overtime. Pay full-time overtime work kissing. I got a lot of kisses. All those willingly loving to receive with consent, not just kisses, but washes, massages, tickles, hand washes, massages, hugging, kissing, consent, and those willingly loving. Marching steps, rapping, dancing, lots of dancing, push-ups, squats, hogs, working out, training, exercising. Can do of service. Let's work out some more. I feel much better. Oh yeah. Working out, training, exercising truly is therapy. Medicine for yours truly, I believe it is for many. And now we're doing some reading with some working out and training, and let's open this internet, and we will be going for the first. We'll be doing a neuroplasticity. Oh, pardon me, my bad. Didn't mean that. Neuroplasticity, which yours truly is a living proof, along with Acquired Savant Syndrome. Let me do a rap on it. Do some rap. Neuroplasticity. Man, you some love you want, you will come with me. You can come with me. We can go mad, we can go mad, we can go witty, we can go witty. Yeah, we can be about it, we can be about it. We can tick tock and click it counterclockwise it, counterclockwise it. Release all this copyright, man. I don't know the bureaucrats. They be on their ivory towers, not giving a fuck. We not giving a fuck, man. Shit. You gotta read off a piece of paper. COP26 there, the climate. They read off a piece of paper, man. I understand if it's statistics, if it's mathematics, equations, numbers, yeah, statistics, whatever. I see leaders of the free world reading off a piece of paper. You gotta tell us we're in a climate environmental emergency. Come on, man. Leaders of the free world. Let's work out for Mother Nature, the greatest artist and scientist. Yes. Oh, yeah, that felt good. Oh, I was actually upset and very triggered by that fact. Seeing, I'm looking at every day a little bit of the conference that's going on. Since, of course, the Dancing Goddess Army, the officially International Integrated Dance League, emblem of the dancing goddess, and the dancing goddess armies, green official color. That is the emblem coupled with the flag of the dragon. The dragon empire, dragon kingdom of the dragon, which are one with the dancing goddess. Yeah. I was angry last week when I seen Leaders of the Free World at the opening. I gotta read off a piece of paper. Now we're in a climate emergency. Understand if it's statistics, CO2 technical terms, scientific terms about the science of CO2 emissions and what have you, and their programs and projects, but I've seen them reading things that should have come from passion, heart, hearts. They're reading off a piece of paper. Anyways, I was upset by that. Neuroplasticity, also known as neuroplasticity or brain plasticity, is the ability of neural networks in the brain to change through growth and reorganization. So neural networks. A neural circuit is a population of neurons interconnected by synapses to carry out a specific function when activated. Neural circuits interconnect one another to form large-scale brain networks. Biological neural networks have inspired the design of artificial neural networks, but artificial neural networks in the brain. The brain is the organ that serves as the center of the nervous system in all vertebrate and most invertebrate animals. It is located in the head, usually close to the sensory organs for senses, such as vision. It is the most complex organ in a vertebrate's body. In a human, the cerebral cortex. So neuroplasticity, also known as neuroplasticity or brain plasticity, it is the ability of neural networks in the brain to change through growth and reorganization. These changes range from individual neuron pathways. A neural pathway is the connection formed by axons that project from neurons to make synapses onto neurons in another location, to enable a signal to be sent from one region of the nervous system to another. Neurons are connected by a single axon. Neuron pathways making new connections to systematic adjustments like cortical remapping. Cortical remapping, also referred to as cortical reorganization, is the process by which an existing cortical map is affected by a stimulus, resulting in the creating of a new cortical map. Every part of the body is connected to a corresponding area in the brain which creates a cortical map. Examples of neuroplasticity include circuit and network changes that result from learning a new ability. So learning is the process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behavior, skills, values, attitudes, and preferences. The ability to learn is possessed by humans, animals, and some machines. There is also evidence for some kind of learning in certain plants. So learning a new ability, environmental influences, practice, and psychological stress. In psychology, stress is a feeling of emotional strain and pressure. Stress is a type of psychological pain. Small amounts of stress may be beneficial, as it can improve athletic performance, motivation, and reaction to the environment. Excessive amounts of stress, however, can increase the rising in diseases. So neuroplasticity. Workout. This barrel of water. This barrel of water. Oh, wow. Oh, oh. Not that much. Nothing to get upset about. Just a few droppy drops. Just a few droppy drops. Keep it up, don't go, don't drop, don't drop, don't drop. Or drop it low, cause we don't give a fa. Just a few drops, drops. The melody what is singing, that's a lot. Click a clack, they don't like my androgynous ass. But I don't give a fuck. What I've been through, they've been even another half of lay. Half of lay. Half a lay. Kiss it with your lace lay. Clicky. Put my twerking game, I ain't got bene. Lay. I ain't got twerking game that much though. I'm working on it. Working on my twerking. Working on my twerking. Working on my twerking. I'm working on my twerking. It's hard though. Not easy. I'll just dance hawk, snake, lion dance. Starlight, sunset, sunrise, midday sun, midnight also. I'm working a bit on my twerking. I need some private lessons. Make public lessons. Public for world peace. Filmed Montreal Hawk Island. On the mountain, Mount Royal. For world peace. Commission. Commission. Let's work out, man. There's a comedy going in my head sometimes. I'm trying to transmit the leaders of the free world that they should. A little bit of humor. Oh my goodness, needed that stretch. I really need also is a good massage. Anybody willing to finance, commission, or exchange, trade, volunteer. You massage me, I'll massage you. Minute for minute, hour for hour, minute for minute, hour for hour, minute for minute, hour for hour. They made 3 hit songs in less than almost 37 minutes, less than 38 minutes. Just the chorus, not the whole songs with all the lyrics. What's a bar, man? Let me hear your bars. Bars? I don't know property, I don't know bars. I got Dragan goddess, kisses, bless, licks, fixes with on the steel toe boots we dancing. Neuroplasticity. I'm sublimating now, sublimating. Psychosexual, spiritual energies to work out and to learn. So mind, body, and spirit and meditation. Meditation, how now the sun rises and the dance makes great, produces fruits, vegetables, and legumes, and how divinity, sanctity, holiness is also within mankind. When we do good deeds, increasing goodness with kindness, we are less selfish. I'm not perfect, far from it. Far from it. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, oh, Neuroplasticity was once thought by neuroscientists to manifest only during childhood. Neuroscientist is a scientist who has specialized knowledge in neuroscience, a branch of biology that deals with the physiology, biochemistry, psychology, anatomy, and molecular biology of neurons, neural circuits, and glial cells, and especially their behavior, biological and psychological, to manifest only during childhood, but research in the latter half of the 20th century. So latter half of the 20th century would mean in the 1950s. 1950s onwards, the latter half, or 1970s to the end of the to now, 21st century. 20th century showed that many aspects of the brain can be altered or are plastic, even through adulthood. Indeed. However, the developing brain exhibits a higher degree of plasticity than the adult brain. Activity-dependent plasticity. This is interesting, because I think this one's willed in doing, reading thousands of books and writing, and although struggling with XYZ, although still doing and being active with all the even financial struggles or suicidal depression or chronic illness, with like the pestilences of the world like came upon me. Paradoxically, during this COVID, I'm healing now this reading. Activity-dependent plasticity. Activity-dependent plasticity is a form of functional and structural neuroplasticity that arises from the use of cognitive functions and personal experience. Hence, it is the biological basis for learning and the formation of new memories. Activity-dependent plasticity. Activity-dependent plasticity is a form of functional and structural neuroplasticity that arises from the use of cognitive function and personal experience. Hence, it is the biological basis for learning and the formation of new memories. Activity-dependent plasticity is a form of neuroplasticity that arises from intrinsic or endogenous activity. Intrinsic. So intrinsic science and engineering, an intrinsic property is a property of a specified subject that exists itself or within the subject. An intrinsic property is not essential or inherent to the subject that is being characterized. Wow. Endogenous activity. Endogenous substances processes are those that originate from within a system such as an organism, tissue, or cell, as opposed to forms of neuroplasticity that arise from extrinsic or exogenous factors. In a variety of contexts, exogeny or exogeneity is the fact of an action or object originating externally. It contrasts with endogeneity or endogeny, the fact of being influenced within a system. Wow. Factors such as electrical brain stimulation or drug-induced neuroplasticity. Drug-induced neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to remodel itself, forms the basis of the brain's capacity to retain memories, improve motor functions, and enhance comprehension and speech, amongst other things. It is this trait to retain and form memories, so that's why I'm the best rapper now, 2021, and will be of 2022. The world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet and philosopher and independent artist, activist, and athlete. It's my activism, athleticism, athlete. Let's work out, see? Let's do athlete. Athlete! With this barrel of water. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I want to get cramps, so. Feels good. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. Patriarchal sports leagues, owners and athletes, multimillionaires. Finance, mass finance the youth to work out, exercise by financing their fees for organized sports or equipment or so the brain's ability to remodel itself forms the basis of the brain's capacity to retain memories, improve motor function, and enhance comprehension and speech, among other things. It is this trait to retain and form memories that is associated with neuroplasticity, and therefore many of the functions individuals perform on a daily basis. Wow. Improve motor functions, enhance comprehension and speech, among other things. This plasticity occurs as a result of changes in gene expression. Gene expression is the process by which information from a gene is used in the synthesis of a functional gene product that enables it to produce end products, protein or non-coding RNA, and ultimately affect the phenotype as the final effect, which are triggered by signaling cascades. Signal transduction is the process by which a chemical or physical signal is transmitted through a cell as a series of molecular events, most commonly protein further catalyzed by protein kinases, which ultimately result in cellular response, that are activated by various signaling molecules. In biology, cell signaling or cell communication is the ability of a cell to receive, process, and transmit signals with its environment and with itself. It is a fundamental property of all cells in every living organism, such as bacteria, plants, and animals. Example, calcium. Calcium is the chemical element with the symbol Cn. As an alkaline earth metal, calcium is a reactive metal that forms a dark oxide nitride layer when exposed to air. Its physical and chemical properties are most similar to its heavier homologue, strontium and barium. Dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays several important roles in cells. It is an organic chemical of the catecholamine and phenol families. Dopamine constitutes about 80% of the catecholamine content in the brain. And glutamate. Neuroscience, glutamate refers to the anion of glutamic acid in its role as a neurotransmitter, a chemical that nerve cells use to send signals to other cells. It is by a wide margin the most abundant excitatory neurotransmitter in the vertebrate nervous system, among many others, during increased neuronal activity. Wow, fascinating. So this is activity-dependent plasticity. Let's work out some more. Activity. Activity. Oh yeah, activity-dependent plasticity. Oh, the brain's ability to adapt towards active functions allows humans to specialize in specific processes based on relative use and activity. For example, a right-handed person may perform any movement poorly with their left hand, but continuous practice with the non-dominant hand can cause one to become ambidextrous. Ambidexterity is the ability to use both the right and left hand equally well. When referring to objects, the term indicates that the object is equally suitable to right-handed and left-handed people. Another example is if someone was born with a neurological disorder such as autism or had a stroke that resulted in a disorder, that they are capable of retrieving much of their lost function through practice, which in turn rewires the brain to mitigate neurological dysfunction. Fascinating. Activity dependent plasticity. Wow, this is fascinating. I'm gonna have to continue reading the full scope and more in depth. It's gonna take me a few then more hours, so I'm just gonna save it and I'm gonna send it to myself. Activity dependent plasticity. That is fascinating. Let's work out some more. Oh, this barrel of water. For world peace. Please, 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 for world peace. Please, 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 please. When this guy say God is list. Oh yeah. Oh, yes. That felt good. Very good. I'm gonna send myself an email to continue the study, education. So activity dependent plasticity. You have role in learning, mechanism involved, relationship to behavior, intellectual, disability, stroke, stress, future studies. And there's also central nervous system, chemical synapse, dendritic spine, Hebbian theory, sensory substitution, spike timing dependent plasticity. This is all from neuroplasticity. So activity dependent plasticity can have significant implication for healthy development, learning, memory, and recovery from brain damage. Recovery from brain damage and brain damage, neurotrauma, brain damage or brain injury is the destruction or degeneration of brain cells. Brain injuries occur due to a wide range of internal and external factors. In general, brain damage refers to significant and discriminating trauma-induced damage. Origin, plasticity, research, and discovery, 1923, Carl Lassley. Neuropsychology is the beginning, and many others afterwards. Type, structural neuroplasticity, functional neuroplasticity, binocular vision, phantom libs, chronic pain, meditation. A number of studies have linked meditation practice to differences in cortical thickness or density of gray matter. Wow. Gray matter is a major component of the central nervous system consisting of neural cell bodies, neuroglial cells, synapses, and capillary. Gray matter is distinguished from white matter in that it contains numerous cell bodies and relatively few myelinated axons, while white matter contains relatively Fitness and exercise. This is my case. Makes sense. So I've done only with the COVID beginning my new training program, which I'm gonna discuss a bit after reading this, but first I'm gonna put theory into practice. Battle of water workout. One more. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Ah. Ooh. Fitness and exercise. So this is neuroplasticity. 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 Fitness and exercise. Aerobic exercise promotes. Yeah. So this explains in a scientifically, although miraculous way, why I am a living proof of neuroplasticity and acquired savant syndrome. So aerobic exercise promotes adult neurogenesis. Neurogenesis. Aerobic exercise promotes adult neurogenesis. Neurogenesis, spelled together. Adult for people like myself, although the Scorpio gets orders from a child Leo. Adult neurogenesis is the process in which neurons are generated from neural stem cells in the adult. This process differs from prenatal neurogenesis. Aerobic exercise promotes adult neurogenesis by increasing the production of nootropic factors. Factors, NTFs, are a family of biomolecules, nearly all of which are peptides or small proteins that support the growth, survival, and differentiation of both developing and mature neurons. Most NTFs exert their tropic effects on neurons by signaling through kinesis, compounds that promote growth or survival of neurons, such as brain-derived neurotropic factor, NDNF. NDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, is abreurin or abreurin, ABRINEURIN. Abreurin is abreurin. You try it. Is a protein that in humans is encoded by the BDNF gene. BDNF is a member of the neurotrophin family of growth factors which are related to the cranial nerve growth factor. Insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, so-called somatic C, is a hormone similar in molecular structure to insulin, which plays an important role in childhood growth and has anabolic effects in adults. And vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF, originally known as vascular permeability factor, VPF, is a signal protein produced by many cells that stimulates the formation of blood vessels. Wow. Growth factor. Exercise-induced neurogenesis. Wow. So in the hippocampus is associated with measurable improvements in spatial memory. In cognitive psychology and neuroscience, spatial memory is a form of memory responsible for the recording and recovery of information needed to plan a course to a location and to recall the location of an object or the occurrence of an event. So no wonder all my memories, most of my memories, a few from childhood, a few from adolescence, a few from young adult. No, I graduated high school. I got a high school diploma and got a certificate for some entrepreneurship contest and have some papers for some I wanted to go to Kingston Military College, something like that, and but this scientific miracle also counterbalanced with a mystic, spiritual, occult one, is that the spiritual practice do have lots of memories of past lives, which it has a karmic destiny purpose. So spatial memory, consistent aerobic exercise over a period of several months Well, it makes sense. I'm on my fitness journey for many years now, especially during COVID. Have performed 213 sessions indoors in my room office and temple of my General War Integrated Total Body Training System. General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, which I've created myself, and which I'll explain and after finishing this, because this is the scientific, though miraculous, explanation through my actions of exercising fitness regularly, of my neuroplastic and neurogenesis and brain healing, and for severe near-fatal mortal head wound trauma. Several months into this marked clinical, significant, consistent aerobic exercise, of which I've been engaged for like 3 years now, in regular, consistent exercise, with aerobic and physical and fitness, more than 77 pounds down. Consistent aerobic, almost 80 now. Consistent aerobic exercise over a period of several months induces consistent aerobic exercise over a period of several months induces marked, clinically significant. In medicine and psychology, clinical significance is the practical importance of a treatment effect, whether it has a real, genuine, palpable, noticeable effect on daily life. Definitely for me. Working out, training, exercising, it's been an investment in medicine and therapy, and it's helped me with neuroplasticity and acquired savant syndrome, parallel ways. Marked clinically significant improvements in executive function. Executive functions are a set of cognitive processes that are necessary for the cognitive control of behavior, selecting and successfully monitoring behaviors that facilitate the attainment of chosen goals. Executive functions include basic cognitive processes such as attenuational control, i.e. cognitive control of behavior, and increased gray matter. Gray matter is a major component of the central nervous system, consisting of neuronal cell bodies, neuropil cells, synapses, and capillaries. Gray matter is distinguished from white matter in that it contains numerous cell bodies and relatively few myelinated axons, volume, and multiple brain regions, particularly those that give rise to cognitive control. The brain structures that show the greatest improvements in gray matter volume in response to aerobic exercise are the prefrontal cortex. In mammalian brain anatomy, the prefrontal cortex is the cerebral cortex which covers the front part of the frontal lobe. PFC contains the Brodmann areas and hippocampus. The hippocampus is a major component of the brain of humans and other vertebrates. Humans and other mammals have two hippocampi, one in each side of the brain. The hippocampus is part of the limbic system and plays important roles in the consolidation of information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Moderate improvements are seen in anterior cingulate cortex. In the human brain, the anterior cingulate cortex is the frontal part of the cingulate cortex that resembles a collar. Surrounding the frontal part of the corpus callosum, it consists of Brodmann areas 24. Parietal cortex. Parietal lobe is one of the four major lobes of the cerebral cortex in the brain of mammals. The parietal lobe is positioned above the temporal lobe and behind the frontal lobe and central sulcus. Cerebellum. The cerebellum is a major feature of the hindbrain of all vertebrates. Although usually smaller than the cerebrum, in some animals such as the morphic fishes it may be as large or even larger. In humans, the cerebellum plays an important role in motor control. Caudate nucleus. Caudate nucleus is one of the structures that make up the corpus stratum, which is a component of the basal ganglia. While the caudate nucleus has long been associated with motor processes due to its role in Parkinson's disease, it plays important roles in various other non-motor functions. A nucleus accumbens. The nucleus accumbens is a region in the basal forebrain rostral to the preoptic area of the hypothalamus. The nucleus accumbens and the olfactory tubercle collectively form the ventral stratum. The ventral stratum, S-T-R-I-A-T-U-M, the ventral stratum and dorsal stratum collectively form the striatum, which is the main component of the
base of the brain. Higher physical fitness scores. Physical fitness is a state of health and well-being, and more specifically, the ability to perform aspects of sports, occupations, and daily activities. Physical fitness is generally achieved through proper nutrition, moderate to vigorous physical exercise, and sufficient rest. Score is measured by VO2 max. VO2 max, also maximal oxygen consumption, maximal oxygen uptake, or maximal aerobic capacity, is the maximum rate of oxygen consumption measured during incremental exercise, that is, exercise of increasing intensity, are associated with better executive function, faster processing speed, and greater volume of the hippocampus, caudate nucleus, and nucleus accumbens. Note 77, Erickson, Kiel, Weinstein, AM, September 12, 14. Physical activity, fitness, and gray matter volume. Wow. Now that, I'm going to do a little bit of workout with this bottle of water, increase our physical fitness. 42 to 50 pound exercise in a rotative semicircle manner in the front, lifting with the hands in a triangular manner. Oh yeah, and more coffee, and I'm gonna need to put something, some to heat a bit for a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna heat. Put some coffee. Some more coffee. Some more coffee, please, 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 please. Some more coffee. So fitness and exercise, and that is neuroplasticity. So my workout training program, which of course began October 2019 to 17th of October, was the first time that yours truly had performed the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. I've created it, made it, designed it to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in a nearly paradoxical, providential, and parallel way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. Back in October 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilization, and independent security analyst and theorist, had taken into consideration the US-China trade war event began by the Trump administration, the arrest of Cathy Meng, aka Meng Wanzhou, chief financial officer and daughter of the founder of Huawei, one of the biggest telecommunications equipment maker and smartphone in the world, an internet infrastructure maker. Consequently, the arrest of the two Michaels, Michael Spavor, Michael Kovrig, by China in an unadmitted, not openly stated retaliation. And last month there was a quid pro quo, unadmitted again, not admitted, that it was an exchange and a deal. But it was almost on the same day Cathy Meng was released. She went back to China, and the two Michaels returned to Canada with a deal in the United States, Canada, China. So although back in October 2019 those were major events which marked the deterioration of Sino-Canadian, Sino-North American, Sino-Western relations, and they have been deteriorating and getting worse since, with worrisome financial, political, social, and military problems on the horizon. But back then, even in 2019 October, to my analysis, I said, alarm, alarm, alarm. We, North America, civilization, Western civilization, global human civilization for that matter, are on a path to World War III. And so design, created, and made a scenario to go hand in hand with the workout. The workout and the scenario are two sides to a coin. One cannot go without the other. So thus, in October 2019, yours truly, independent artist, activist, and athlete, having been on a fitness journey for about 18 months up to that point in time, I lost about 65 pounds up to October 2019, almost 80, a little bit more than 77 today, November 10. And I've created a general war integrated whole body training system designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie paradoxical providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. Now on COVID, my trinity has been, is, and will be this. First and foremost, do not know for sure what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings, or what's called zoonotic transmission. And third, since have a doubt, cannot rule out another possibility, XYZ, accident in a lab, man-made virus, or accident gone wrong, or a bioweapon. XYZ possibility, since believe it was snakes who transmitted it, zoonotic transmission as it's called, the scientific technical term, although I have no 100% proof of that. So that is my trinity on COVID. A fourth dimension to that trinity is what do know without a doubt is that before COVID, about 93 days before the COVID health and financial crisis, yours truly created the general war integrated total body training system designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in a nearly paradoxical, providential, and parallel way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. Now, my scenario, what triggers World War III, because it was a World War III scenario, is a global financial collapse caused by a stock market crash. Due to COVID, the stock market crash began February 20th and ended about April 20th of 2020 of last year. And since now, I encourage everybody to get tested, to get vaccinated. Even this past 2 weeks was a bit sick, had coughing, a bit of a fever, a bit of a COVID-like symptoms. Maybe it was a variant, and I semi-isolated because I'm twice vaccinated. What can I do, right? There's no news on of the third jab. I'm willing to get the third jab in the same spot. Got a goddess, yes, goddess tattoo here on her forehead. So, forehead of the goddess. Get the third shot as 2 shots were the same spot given. The forehead of the goddess tattoo. Got a goddess tattoo, and on her forehead has like a necklace, chain of jewels, and I got it there on the forehead. I'm willing to get the third at the same spot. But so I semi-isolated for like 2 weeks. I'm getting better, feeling better, still coughing a bit, but overall very much better. But for like 6 days, wasn't feeling too well. Although I pushed it and I exercised and this and to it. But last year, from about end of January 2020 until about February 20th, 2020, was very sick, was very ill. It was COVID. Before mass testing was available. No doubt that had COVID back at the end of January 2020 until about February 20th. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. And so I died during COVID. Adrian H. Dragan died during COVID. I'm being reborn Adrian Hana Dragan. There's nothing that I want to personally go back to pre-COVID. I've performed 213 sessions of the General War Integrated Whole Body Training System, which are required of anybody willingly loving to join the Dragan Army, which I've founded and which is inspired by my scenario. Since in my scenario there was the destruction, there was the devastation, there was the destruction, there was also the solution. And the solution in my scenario was of World War III caused by a global financial collapse. World War III, financial collapse and stock market crashes blamed by many nations on the Trump administration in the US and thus World War III begins in my scenario. Due to COVID, stock market crash began February 20th and ended about April 7th, triggering recessions and depressions worldwide, economically, financially, commercially. Now, my scenario, although it had the destruction and the devastation and the destruction, it all had a solution and a reconstruction and rebuilding, resetting and building back better with new philosophy, new way of being, less selfish, for world peace and for the body being a temple for purpose and pleasure, and to have social security, new transnational force of social security, and not just social security but security and service. And so in my scenario, mobilizing 1% of citizenry, in my scenario there was the creation of a new army for security and service and reconstruction, from mobilizing a percentage of the population of Canada, United States, Europe, Israel, Latin America, and all willingly loving. And thus, since July 24th, in the midst of COVID, due to my scenario resembling and my solution in my scenario, that's what I've been calling for, and I've founded the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragan Army, in order to secure the three essential elements of civilization. Those three essential elements of civilization are food, housing, and transport. And after we have those three secured, we can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, do community work, exercise, and integrate with civilization, and encourage people to go and to learn and integrate with all existing what we have as civilization, all the financial, the commercial, the farming, the electricity, Hydro-Quebec here in Montreal, Hawk Island, to go to the dams or to go to the powers in the hydroelectric or the electric or the farming or the construction, and to integrate and to learn about all and integrate across all sectors of civilization and society. So that's what I began advocating for, the creation of the Dragan Army, officially International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, just like in my scenario, the solution. Mobilizing 1% of the citizens of NATO, calling on Israel, the state of Israel, to become the 31st Israel member nation and NATO, and then throughout the world, all willingly loving to join and support the Dragan Army. Food, housing, and transport secured for all. Once we have those three secured, we can encourage people to volunteer, work out, train, do community work, XYZ, do, and offer services to the Dragon. Washing, cooking, massaging, kissing, all service, and security for a new world order of world peace, international justice, and global freedom, securing and ensuring global freedom by securing the three essential elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport. Once those three are secured, we can build the extras, the hygiene, the public hygiene, and balance the public and the private. Public-private partnership and democratic fusion. And of course, get dirty but get back clean. Yours truly, Dragon Zero, captain, founder of the Dragan Army for World Peace. Let's do some more workouts and the rules of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, which are required for everybody, anybody who wants to join as a peacekeeping dragon. As the motto of the Dragan Army is, nobody is born a dragon. You become one. You become one. Just like yours truly, born Adrian H. Dragon, who died during COVID. Took blood, sweat, and tears, and thousands of push-ups, thousands of squats, thousands of hawks, millions of marching steps in steel-toe boots, or in running shoes, or barefoot in my room office and temple, or roundabout running shoes, or steel-toe boots in Hawk Island, just like I did today and yesterday. A few hours already of marching. Recorded, proof, documented my fitness journey, many years, and all the workouts are documented. 213 workouts. 213 sessions I've performed so far in my underground room office and temple. I've did a few now in the past days, weeks, and months outdoors, since I've started September doing outdoors. And we'll be continuing to do 213 session. These are the rules of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout. You gotta be able to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks. That Trinity, push-up, squats, hocks. You can check my videos, Facebook page, or on the YouTube channel. Once you got 93 minutes, 93 minutes, 93 minutes, that's an hour and a half. So once you start the countdown, there's no stop. You gotta march, jog, walk fast pace, run, and no stopping. Recommend 5, 10, even 15 minutes warming up of marching pace, walking, or even running before, and then getting into the squats, push-ups, or hocks in whatever order. You can do push-ups, squats, hocks. 13 maximum reps per set, 3 minimum. So those numbers keep in mind. 13 and 3, they go together, anywhere in between 7, 6, 5, 10, do 10 like me. 10 times 10 is easy count. 10 reps per set. You got to do 10 sets for each. 10 times 10 gives you 100. Or do 6, 7, do them differently every time until you get to 100. However, there's no pause, no stop. Once you start the countdown, 93 minutes, you gotta keep on walking fast pace, or walking and marching pace preferred, and or running or jogging. You gotta march, jog, run fast pace, walk a minimum of 31 seconds. That's half a minute and a second in between each set. So whether you do 13 max reps per set, or 13 max, or 3 minimum, keep those numbers in mind, 13 and 3, or anywhere in between 10, 7, 6. You can change them every time and doing it in whatever order you want. There's no regimentation, no rules to the order, as long as you get to 100 within those rules. 93 minutes to do it, 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks, 13 reps max per set, 3 minimum. You can do anything with it. 31 seconds marching, jogging, walking fast pace in between each of hocks, push-ups, squats in whatever order. So there's no pause once you start. Average about an hour. Takes me about an hour to complete it, with the minimum marching and jogging and walking fast pace of 31 seconds. Went as high as 77 minutes and as low as 37 minutes and 49 seconds. Almost 38 minutes. The lowest and the highest was about 77 minutes and 37 seconds. So that's my average. Takes me about 60 minutes, an hour average, my time. In theory, even if you do 13 max and then you got to do 31 seconds, half a minute in between each, it should take you can go, it's at least 31 minutes or half an hour, even if you do 13 max every time. And then you got to do the last one, because 13 times 6, 13 times 7. So you got to do some math if you change it. So effective, efficient, simple exercise requires no equipment. Designed to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. It is the de facto examination for all willingly loving to join the Dragan army. Peacekeeper of the Dragan army, the de facto willing examination for anybody willingly loving to join. And all orders given by yours truly, Dragan Zero, must be obeyed. No order will be that myself will not be willing to execute. Secure food, secure housing, secure transport. 13 max, 3 minimum. Keep those in mind. 4 numbers to remember. The 4 holy, sacred, divine numbers of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. 93 or 93 minutes. 13 and 3 go together. And 31. So 13 and 3 for maximum and minimum reps. 31 seconds for the minimum required marching, jogging, walking fast pace in between. Good luck. Do it. Post a video. My official volunteer representative, my OVR official volunteer representative, OVR official volunteer representative, Retziel Ayel work will direct, instruct, command, bless you in my name. But you gotta be able to do it within the rules. This applies to all existing armed forces of NATO member countries, whether you started today, November 10, as a beginner cadet, or you're a lieutenant, or high-ranking, low-ranking, XYZ, the leaders of the free world as well. Tell the leaders of the free world, yours truly, Dragan Zero's message. Leaders of the free world, this is Dragan Zero's message. Drop down. Give Dragan Zero 13 push-ups with LOV love and for the sake of world peace. And I'll do them with. So the de facto standard training system for the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragan Army, the de facto examination, and the de facto standard training, and all other trainings revolve around it. Trinity: Hawks, push-up, squats, push-ups, squats, hawks. See me do it. I did 213 sessions. No wonder that the science and miraculous science in application of having trained exercise for the past years, I'm living proof of the miracle of neuroplasticity and acquired savant syndrome, which we're gonna do a reading of. After we do a little bit of reading on NASA. So that was the workout. 213 sessions I performed indoors. We'll continue now outdoors while the time permits, and we're gonna do some more in the coming days. The goal is for me to reach 300 sessions of the General War Integrated Whole Body Training System. So I've done 213, so I'm past 2/3. So I got 300 minus 213 is 87. In theory, in theory, November, December, January, February, I could be doing them. Ding! That's a providence. By February. Or maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start doing one tomorrow. It's a great day, and clean my room also. I'll do one live streaming. I didn't do live streaming in a bit. 11/11 dedicated to it's gonna be dedicated to remembrance, and of course of the General War Integrated Whole Body Training System. Prevent as a world peace advocate, and of course I understand we gotta channel the aggressions, but we gotta have deep structural changes, and changes also starts with us. Not perfect, not flawed. I lust, I crave, I want to experience things, drink a little bit of wine that I never was able to afford, eat, experience new food, experience good foot massages, some good loving, which I've not experienced prior, you know. Some double twerking on me, double twerking on me. Some double twerking on me, double twerking on me. Yeah, I'm trouble, but army, Dragan army. Motto of the Dragan Army is: nobody's born a dragon, not even yours truly, with a surname Dragan. The blood, sweat, and tears to turn that A into an O. I'm becoming Adrian Hanna, Dragan, yours truly, androgynous, pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one kingdom. The Dragon Kingdom is one with the Dancing Goddess Empire, under the sun, under the moon, under the stars on earth. The Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, the universal revolutionary centrist party, pro-world peace. International justice, secure, global freedom, and harmony between civilization and with nature. And now, this is my beautiful, holiest, sacredest, divine, rockiest, coolest fucking hoodie that I fucking got ever. Probably gonna wear it first time during this weekend. Yeah, good place to Sabbath. First time to wear it. This weekend's gonna be, yeah, I'm not gonna wait. No waiting, man. I clean my room off some temple tomorrow, do a general integrated total body training system. Clean. Wear socks. So socks say NASA, so we're gonna go read some NASA. NASA. NASA, NASA, yes sir. NASA spacecraft me up. Dragon crew data coming down, that's what I heard, yup. Clicker clack, they listening to rappers that be living in gated communities, what? I said y'all listening to rappers that be living in gated communities, and that's a fact, what? Y'all listening to rappers that be living in gated communities, man. That's the best lyrics of November 2021. Yours truly, underground rapper, hobby rapper, underground best freestyle rapper 2021 and will be 2022. That lyrics, y'all listening to rappers that be living in gated motherfucking communities, motherfucker. Gated communities. Look at this. This is love this. My sister, friend, teacher, anonymous, 4th dimension, my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. Look, artist, man, artist. Artist. NASA, ready? We're gonna read NASA, about NASA history. Last time I've read about women in space. We're gonna do a little bit of, let's do a little bit of warming up with this barrel of water. Oh yeah, barrel of water. Oh yeah. Ooh. Mind, body, and spirit, special Scorpio Trinity continues. Road to midnight, NASA. NASA, National Aeronautics, National Aeronautics, Aeronautics, NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The acronym stands for something just like International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, ICISS, or my DBT, debt, or DRT, debt refusion theory, or citizen integration theory. Part of my many writings during the last 7.7 years of reading thousands of books and struggling and suicidal and depressed. Not anymore. Nothing. I want to go back pre-COVID. No thanks. Just forward and working out, training, exercising, doing art, kissing my allies and armies and supporters, being supporters, allies, armies, 4th dimension, you my fam. Fam. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA is an independent agency of the U.S. federal government responsible for the civilian space program. Independent agency. Independent agencies of the United States federal government are agencies that exist outside the federal executive departments and the executive office of the president. in a narrower sense, Narrower, narrow, condensed, narrows, limit. The term refers only to those independent agencies that, while considered part of the executive branch, have regulatory or rule-making authority and are insulated from presidential control. Insulated, to be a part of, like I'm insulated from island, meaning you need a bridge to pass it, right? Can't live on an island. Insulated. Because also insulated could mean insulation, so beauty of the English language, multiple meanings to depending how the words that we use, for sure. Insulated. Independent agency of the U.S. federal government. The federal government of the United States was born twice in the USA 156 years ago, 718 miles that way, which is south of Hawk Island, Montreal, served in the U.S. Army. Street patterns through a glass darkly. Federal government of the United States is the national government of the United States, a federal republic in North America composed of 50 states, a federal districts, 5 major self-governing territories, and several island possessions. Responsible for the civilian space program. This is a list of government agencies engaged, and when you click space program, you see the Dragan capsule, the Dragan spacecraft. It's called Dragan from SpaceX, as well as aeronautics, aeronautics is the science of art involved with the study, design, and manufacturing of air flight capable machines and the techniques of operating aircraft and rockets within the atmosphere. The British Royal Aeronautical Society identifies the aspects of aeronautical art and space research. Outer space is the expanse that exists beyond Earth and between celestial bodies. Outer space is not completely empty. It is a hard vacuum containing a low density of particles, predominantly a plasma of hydrogen, and helium, as well as electromagnetic radiation, magnetic fields. Note 1. NASA is an independent agency that is not a part of any executive department, but reports directly to the president. NASA. NASA was established in 1958, succeeding the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA. The new agency was to have a distinctly civilian orientation, encouraging peaceful application in space science. Since its establishment, most U.S. space exploration efforts have been led by NASA, including the Apollo moon landing missions, the Skylab space station, and later the Space Shuttle. NASA is supporting the International Space Station, ISS, and is overseeing the development of the Orion spacecraft. Orion spacecraft is a class of partially reusable crewed spacecraft to be used in NASA's Artemis program. And what I love about Artemis is that it has the goddess name, because Apollo was the name of a god, and now we're balancing harmony, equilibrium. Artemis, goddess name, goddess relating to the goddess that dances with the bird of the sun. The Space Launch System. Space Launch System is an American super heavy lift expendable launch vehicle under development by NASA since 2011. It replaces the Ares 1 and Ares 5 launch vehicles. Commercial crew vehicles. I think that's a Dragan. That's shown there, yeah. This is the Dragan spacecraft from SpaceX in the photo when click on it. And the planned Lunar Gateway, or simply Gateway, is a planned small space station in lunar orbit intended to serve as a solar-powered communication hub, science laboratory, short-term habitation module for government agency astronauts, as well as a holding area for rovers and other robots. The agency is also responsible for the Launch Services Program, LSP, which provides oversight of launch operations and countdown management for uncrewed NASA launches. NASA's science is focused on better understanding Earth through the Earth Observing System. Earth Observing System (EOS) is a program of NASA comprising a series of artificial satellite missions and scientific instruments in Earth orbit designed for long-term global observations of the land, surface, biosphere, atmosphere, and oceans. The satellite component of the program, Advanced Heliophysics, is the physics of the sun and its connection with the solar system. NASA defines heliophysics as one, the comprehensive new term for the science of the sun solar system connection. Through the efforts of the Science Missions Directorate Heliophysics Research Program, exploring bodies throughout the solar system. The solar system is the gravitationally bound system of the sun and the objects that orbit it, either directly or indirectly. Of the objects that orbit the sun directly, the largest are the 8 planets, with the remainder being smaller objects, the dwarf planets, and small solar system bodies. With advanced robotic spacecraft. A robotic spacecraft is an unscrewed spacecraft usually under robotic control. A robotic spacecraft designed to make scientific research measurements is often called a space probe, such as New Horizons. New Horizons is an interplanetary space probe that was launched as part of NASA's New Frontiers program, engineered by the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory (APL) and the Solid Research Institute, or a team led by Alan Stern. In researching astrophysics topics. Astrophysics is a science that employs the methods and principles of physics in the study of astronomical objects and phenomena. As one of the founders of the discipline said, astrophysics seeks to ascertain the nature of the heavenly bodies rather than their positions or motions in space, such as the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is the prevailing cosmological model explaining the existence of the observable universe from the earliest known periods to its subsequent large-scale evolution, through the great observatories and associated programs. NASA's series of great observatory satellites are 4 large, powerful space-based astronomical telescopes. Let's work out some more. I'm going to go to the history of NASA. One more. One more. Exhale. But not to injure or have a cramp. Last cup of coffee. Last cup of coffee. Last cup of coffee for the night. For the night. For the night. for the night. Beginning in 1946, the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics NACA began experimenting with rocket planes such as the supersonic Bell X-1. Rocket planes. A rocket-powered aircraft. A rocket plane is an aircraft that uses a rocket engine for propulsion, sometimes in addition to air-breathing jet engines. The supersonic Bell X. Bell X is a rocket engine-powered aircraft designed originally as the X-1 and was a joint National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, U.S. Army Air Forces. U.S. Air Force Supersonic Research Project built by Bell Aircraft, conceived during 1944 and designed and built in 1945. In the early 1950s, there was a challenge to launch an artificial satellite for the International Geophysical Year 1957-1958. An effort for this was the American Project Vanguard. Project Vanguard was a program managed by the United States Naval Research Laboratory, NRL, which intended to launch the first artificial satellite into Earth orbit using a Vanguard rocket as the launch vehicle from Cape Canaveral. After the Soviet space program, the Soviet space program was the national space program of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, conducted in competition with its Cold War adversary, the United States, known as the space race from the mid-1950s until the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, which marked the end. Well, actually, the Berlin Wall marked the end of socialist experiments, I would say, communist dictatorships and states. Don't want to digress into maybe this November we'll read the Communist Manifesto and Karl Marx and socialism and communism as the USSR and, of course, Eastern Europe, Warsaw Pact. Many USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, had Russia and 15 other who became independent states after the dissolution in 1991. But with the fall of the Berlin Wall, November 9, 1989, marked the beginning of turn of the downfall or the dissolution of the socialist experiments in communism, Marxism in Europe, and for that matter in many other parts of the world with that, but USSR and Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary. Paradoxically, I don't want to digress, but China, although there was the Tiananmen Square massacre, the protest, has been able to retain the one-party communist state with reforms and communism with socialism with Chinese characteristics, or communism with Chinese characteristics in their own development. But the Chinese Communist Party, led to power by Mao Zedong, is still a one-party state. China, the most populated country, nation state on earth, and a civilization, Chinese Sino civilization. China is a civilization indeed, but I would say paradoxically they were able to maintain after 1989, when after the Berlin Wall, which started, marked the end of socialist experiments in communism in Europe, in Eastern Europe, mainly in East Germany, right, which was divided by the Berlin Wall. Eastern Germany was socialist communist, one party communist socialist state Marxist. And I think there are 5 officially still communist states in the world. Vietnam still is one party communist state. Cuba, of course, Latin America, although there were protests, that was still one party state, has not been overthrown, the Revolution de Cuba. The only one in Europe that was violent and controversial was in Romania. With Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife being, and people dying, being like a violent overthrow and bloody revolution for a few weeks of considerable amount of violence and deaths with the youth and military, and almost, some say, a little revolutionary civil war even for a few days until the execution of socialist communist dictator on December 25th, 1989. So, Soviet space programs, a little bit of history back in time, but for the Soviet space program launched the world's first artificial satellite. And indeed, the Soviet space program did. The first woman in space, I've just read 2 days ago, and Svetlana, was 1963, another very important year for big changes, especially in the North American civilization, with the civil rights for African American brothers and sisters of color, right? 1963. Crises also, JFK. So good and bad, but major changes globally, not just in North American civilization, but also on a global scale. Very important year, 1963, in 04, 1947, 84, 89. And now this year, 2021, with COVID. After the Soviet space program's launch of the world's first artificial satellite, and also in 63, that also was the first woman, was a Soviet in space, was a woman, and even the first woman to have performed a spacewalk was 20 years later. Also, 84, Soviet woman. And the second one was also Soviet, from the Soviet Union, part of the Soviet space program. The third one was an American, Sally something Fields. Launch of the world's first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, on October 4, 1957. The attention of the United States turns towards its fledgling space efforts. The US Congress, alarmed by the perceived threat to national security and technological leadership, known as the Sputnik Crisis. The Sputnik Crisis was a period of public fear and anxiety in Western nations about the perceived technological gap between the United States and Soviet Union caused by the Soviets' launch of Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite, in October 4, 1957. Right? It's been a while. So I think a lot, especially millennials like myself, some, not all, and new generation Gen Z is, call it, born after 1980 and 1996. So 20, 30-year-olds think that satellites are relatively from the 80s, 90s, and now with Elon Musk and all the developments. But see, the Soviet Union in October 4, 1957. Because, I mean, what's been revealed in research and classified and all that was revealed, that it wasn't revealed, right? Maybe this was the first Soviet satellite openly revealed, but maybe a year or two before they had tried and they had failed, but they weren't, because they were failures or they had aborted, they were not revealed. Anyways, no, just speculating at this point. Urged immediate and swift action. President Dwight D. Eisenhower counseled more deliberate measures. The result was a consensus that the White House forged among key interest groups, including scientists committed to basic research, the Pentagon, which had to match the Soviet military achievement, corporate America looking for new business, and then this corporate looking for new business, and a strong new can work together. That's what I'm about. Public and private partnerships. The Dragon Kingdom and the Dancing Goddess Empire. And a strong new trend in public opinion looking up to space exploration. On January 12, 1958, NACA organized the Special Committee on Space Technology, headed by Guy Ferd Stever was an American administrator, physicist, educator, and engineer. On January 14, 1958, NACA Director Hugh Dryden published a National Research Program for Space Technology, stating, "It is of great urgency and importance to our country, both from consideration of our prestige as a nation as well as military necessity, that this challenge," referring to Sputnik, the first satellite in space by the Soviets being launched, "be met by an energetic program of research and development for the conquest of space. It is accordingly proposed that the scientific research be the responsibility of a national civilian agency. NACA is capable, by rapid expansion and expansion of its effort, of providing leadership in space technology." Space technology is technology for use in travel for activities beyond Earth's atmosphere, for purposes such as space flight or space exploration. Space technology includes space vehicles such as spacecraft, satellites, space stations, and orbital launch vehicles. Deep space communications. While this new federal agency would conduct all non-military space activities, the Advanced Research Agency, ARPA, now known as DARPA, they added the D at the DARPA. So ARPA became DARPA. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency is a research and development agency of the United States Department of Defense responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military. Was created in February 1958 to develop space technology for military application. Subcommittee on Military Construction, United States, 1958. So DARPA, which some have credited with the origins of the present-day internet from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Although HTTPS was by 1989 by is it gonna come by maybe working out a bit. Well, let's see if I work out. A barrel of water will make the name. The WWW World Wide Web HTTPS 89. From Britain, the British scientist. Excel. Yeah, it doesn't come the name. Hypertext. Yes, Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee. Timothy John Berners-Lee. Best known as the inventor of the World Wide Web. So, program of research and development for the conquest of space. So DARPA was created in February 1958 to develop space technology for military applications. So with military application in first develop space technology. On July 29, 1958, Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act establishing NASA. When it began operations on October 1st, 1958, NASA absorbed, just like calling for integration with the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragan Army, and complementary with the International Integrated Dance League, Dancing Goddess Army, to complementary covenant cooperative institutions to absorb and integrate with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces in order to secure and ensure freedom, attain harmony between civilization and nature, and then have the reset rebuilt by debt refusion, creating a global central bank by biometrics, putting my theory into practice of debt refusion, preferably by biometrics, their hand, the voice, the eye being unique biometric identifiers, and food, housing, and transport secure for all. Encourage people to volunteer, work out, train, exercise, hygiene, the community work. NASA absorbed the 43-year-old NACA intact. It's 8,000 employees, an annual budget of $100 million, 3 major research laboratories: Langley Aeronautical Laboratories, Ames Aeronautical Laboratory, and Lewis Flight Propulsion Laboratory. Langley Research Center, located in Hampton, Virginia, United States, is the oldest of NASA's field centers. It directly borders Langley Air Force Base. Ames Aeronautical Laboratory Center, ARC, also known as NASA Ames, is a major NASA research center at Moffett Federal Airfield in California's Silicon Valley. It was founded in 1939 as the Second National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics Laboratory and the Lewis Flight Propulsion Laboratory. NASA John H. Glenn Research Center at Lewis Field is a NASA center within the cities of Brook Park and Cleveland, between the Cleveland Hopkins International Airport and the Rocky River Reservation of Cleveland Metro Parks, and the 2 small test facilities. NASA August 4 retrieved February 14, 2017, and retrieved July 15, 2009. Elements of the Army Ballistic Missile Agency. ABMA was formed to develop the U.S. Army's first large ballistic missile. The agency was established at Redstone Arsenal on February 1, 1956, and commanded by Major General John B. Medarson, with Werner von Braun as a technical director. And the United States Naval Research Laboratory. The United States Naval Research Laboratory, NRL, is the corporate research laboratory for the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps. It conducts basic scientific research, applied research, technological development, and prototyping. Were incorporated into NASA, a significant contributor to NASA's entry into the space race. The space race was a 20th century competition between 2 Cold War adversaries, the Soviet Union, USSR, and the United States, to achieve superior spaceflight capability. It had its origins in the ballistic missile-based nuclear arms race. With the Soviet Union was the technology from the German rocket program, V2. Interesting, fascinating history. The V2 with a technical name, Aggregate 4. A4 was the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile, the V2. The missile, powered by a liquid propellant rocket engine, was developed during the Second World War in Germany as a vengeance weapon, led by Wernher von Braun. Paradoxically, von Braun then worked on the 14 years later, on the US Army Ballistic Missile Agency, where he was the technical director. And at first he had developed the V2. Werner Magnus Maximilian Vera von Braun was a German-American aerospace engineer and space architect. He was the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and the pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States. Isn't that paradoxical? Seems paradoxical, right? Werner von Braun, Werner, long name Magnus Maximilian Werner von Braun, Werner von Braun, was a German-American aerospace engineer and space architect. He was the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and the pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States. Werner Magnus Maximilian Werner von Braun was a German-American aerospace engineer and space architect. He was the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and the pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States. I remember reading and seeing documentary about mentioning Werner von Braun in some documentaries that I've seen, and even some conspiracy theories which don't adhere to. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is certainly paradoxical that he worked for the Nazi Germany, and then he worked for the United States to develop the same type of weaponry. Was the thing with the Soviet Union was the technology from the German rocket program led by Werner von Braun, the V2, who was now working for the Army Ballistic Missile Agency, which in turn incorporated the technology of American scientist Robert Goddard's early work. Robert Hutchinson Goddard was an American engineer, professor, physicist, and inventor who is credited with creating and building the world's first liquid-fueled rocket. Goddard successfully launched his rocket on March 16, 1926, which ushered in an era of space flight and innovation. Earlier research efforts within the U.S. Air Force. United States Air Force is the air service branch of the United States Armed Forces. It is one of the 8 U.S. uninformed services. And many of ARPA's early space programs were also transferred to NASA. In December 1958, NASA gained control of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL. Laughing the other day when I got some carrots. I'm gonna show them now. I was joking. I said, "Hey, carrots from California, from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I didn't know that they made carrots now. They had to diversify their portfolio." So this is what I'm referring to. So they're actually not from California, but the emblem here, JPL. JPL stands JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, is known as the JPL. And these carrots, I'm gonna cook over the weekend in a slow cooking. They're actually from Quebec. JPL stands for, I'm guessing, name and surname. the name and the surname. So JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, is a federally funded research and development center and NASA field center in the city of Pasadena in California, United States. A contractor facility operated by the California Institute of Technology. Caltech is a private research university in Pasadena, California. The university is known for its strength in science and engineering and is one among a small group of institutes of technology in the United States which is primarily devoted. So JPL. Fascinating. And then the projects, you had the projects which NASA, and this one is the, let's see, because here on this beautiful rocking gift that had says Pioneer 1. So does it start with 1? October 1958. Because now I have the programs. X-15 program, 1954-68. NASA inherited NACA's X-15 experimental rocket-powered hypersonic research aircraft. Hypersonic, wow. Project Mercury. This is Pioneer 1. There's the history, so I'm guessing that I find them here. Then Apollo, got Apollo 11, Pioneer 10, Viking, Voyager up to September 5th, 1977. Buzz Aldrin was, of course, on the moon. There's a picture of him. Artemis 2017 to present. Yes, go Artemis, go, go. Happy they chose the name of a goddess. It was Apollo, the name of the god, so now it's time to balance it. Apollo, Artemis. So Pioneer 1. Let's do that, work out. Pioneer 1. Pioneer 1, also known as Able 2, was an American space probe. This is what it is, Pioneer 1, yeah. October 11, because there are dates there on the back, see? My nice new, best, rockiest, coolest hoodie that ever had received. Love it. And the map is just, wow, gonna work out, train, dance in it, write poetry, rap. It's gonna be conquering love and action and dance and workout and poetry and studying and doing, going to the mountain, Mount Royal, and the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Empire and the Dragon Kingdom and the Dancing Goddess are one. Headquarters on Mount Royal, Hawk Island, Montreal. Pioneer 1, also able, was this American space probe. This was a space probe, the first under the auspices of NASA, which was launched by a Thor Able. Well, that's what it was called, Able Thor. By a Thor Able rocket on October 11, 1958. Yeah, that's the first date, and then goes up to 1977, September, to the last Apollo ones. Right? Is it that what it is? Voyager. Apollo ended 1969. Then Pioneer 10, Viking 1, August 20th, 1975. So from October 11, 1958 to 1977, that's almost 20 years span of several exploration milestones. Timeline of space exploration. So that was it. Now we're gonna work out some more. Thorable was an American expendable launch system sounding rocket. A sounding rocket or rocket sound, sometimes called a research rocket or a suborbital rocket, is an instrument carrying rocket designed to make measurements and perform scientific experiments during its suborbital flight. The height is 26.9 meters. Thorable. Launch of the Transit 1A satellite on the Thorable. The transit system, also known as NavSat or NSS, was the first satellite navigation system to be used operationally. The radio navigation system was primarily used by the US Navy to provide accurate location information to its Polaris ballistic missile submarines. Wow. And Acquired Savant Syndrome. Let's work out some more and acquire some more. Neuroplasticity, some reconstruction, some healing, some workout. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Oh, oh, ah, oh, oh yeah. Savant Syndrome. which in parallel with neuroplasticity, yours truly is living scientific fact, living miraculous proof. Savant syndrome is a rare condition in which someone with significant mental disabilities demonstrates certain abilities far in excess of average. The skills that savants excel at are generally related to rapid calculation, a little bit artistic ability. Becoming now November the world's best rapper will be of 2022. Best dancer, becoming now November 10 and will be of 2022. Will be him now. Best dancer. Paradoxican of providential parallel way. The world's greatest living millennial rainbow poet. Dancing rainbow poet. Artistic ability, yes. Map making, meh. Musical ability, freestyle rap. Channeling songs, writing songs, yes. Lyrics that please, lips and hips that shake when they stay, cops they come, they say freeze. I say bitch please, none of lips licks. Usually only one exceptional skill is present. Am I triple trinity, fourth dimension? Trinity skills. So Savant syndrome. Those with the condition generally have a neurodevelopmental disorder such as autism's ASO, autism spectrum disorder, or have brain injury. Neurotrauma, brain damage, or brain injury is the destruction or degeneration of brain cells. Brain injuries occur due to a wide range of internal and external factors. In general, brain damage refers to significant and discriminating trauma-induced damage. About half of cases are associated with autism, and those individuals may be known as autistic savants. While the condition usually becomes apparent in childhood, some cases develop later in life. Savant syndrome is estimated to affect around 1 in a million people. The condition affects more males than females at a ratio of 6 to 1. The first medical account of the condition was in 1783. Among those with autism, 1 in 10 or 1 in 200 have savant syndrome to some degree. It is estimated that there are fewer than 100 savants with extraordinary skills currently living. Let's work out some more. Exhale. Exhale. Oh yeah. Signs and symptoms. Savant skills are usually found in one or more of 5 major areas: art, memory. I did retain a lot of memory in the past. What I've read in the last, though I lost a lot of memory. Childhood, adolescence, early adulthood. I have a lot of memory from past lives, and a lot of memory from the past 7.7 years. learning thousands of books, reading, self-educating, and learning few, not fluently to an expertise degree, but a little bit of different languages. Arithmetic, is mathematical, musical abilities, best rapper, clapper, hip and clapper, what's the matter, what a salad, and spatial skills. Man, I'm clumsy sometimes. The most common kinds of savants are calendrical savants, human calendars who can calculate the day of the week for any given date with speed and accuracy, or recall personal memories from any given date. Maybe from the last years, yeah, but not. Advanced memory is the key superpower in savant abilities. From the past years, yeah, I do remember. The last 7 years, yeah. Approximately half of the savants are autistic. The other half often have some form of central nervous system injury or disease. And this neurological. This is my superpower key. In some cases, savant syndrome can be induced following severe head trauma to the left anterior temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is one of the four major lobes of the cerebral cortex in the brain of mammals. The temporal lobe is located beneath the lateral fissure on both cerebral hemispheres. This is my injury on the left. In some cases, savant syndrome can be induced following severe head trauma to the left anterior temporal lobe. Savant syndrome has been artificially replicated using transcranial magnetic stimulation to temporarily disable this area of the brain. Transcranial magnetic stimulation is a non-invasive form of brain stimulation in which a changing magnetic field is used to cause electric current at a specific area of the brain through electromagnetic induction. An electric pulse generator. Disable this area of the brain. 17. Explaining and inducing savant skills. Privileged access to lower level, less processed information. So neurological. In some cases, savant syndrome can be induced following severe head trauma to the left anterior temporal lobe. Savant syndrome has been artificially replicated using transcranial magnetic stimulation to temporarily disable this area of the brain. Neurological. In some cases, savant syndrome can be induced following severe head trauma to the left anterior temporal lobe. Savant syndrome has been artificially replicated using transcranial magnetic stimulation to the brain. Wow. Jason Paget is a case of acquired cases. American mathematician acquired after being hit in the back of the head while at a bar. Jason Paget, American mathematician. Acquired after being hit in the back of the head while at the bar. American mathematician acquired after being hit in the back of the head while at the bar. Fascinating. So let's work out some more. We gotta do also. And then rest and be for physical fitness. So let's work out. Work out, work out, work out. And ready to work out some more. Let's work out. Let's read some news. Got 10 minutes to midnight, and that's where we'll hit the finish it at midnight as the sun rises. Let's see what's in the news. Good news is for my allies, army supporters, which fourth dimension to being allies, supporters, and armies. Y'all, my family, along with all willingly loving, and got trillions of kisses from the goddess who dances with her brother, sun, the sister of the goddess of the starlit heavens. Sends one kiss, and that kiss turned into 93 trillions of kisses gifted to me, credited with a condition to distribute to my willingly loving allies, supporters, armies, to our family. In the news. In the news, we just read about NASA, so we're gonna read this since it's relevant. Chinese space debris heading towards International Space Station. Russian scientists say. Oh yeah. Let's work out some more. This. Wow, that would suck to cause damage to the ISS. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, I feel good. Oh, Chinese space debris heading towards International Space Station, Russian scientists say. Russian scientists are currently working to track the path of a piece of Chinese space junk that they think is headed close to the International Space Station. Wow. Roscosmos, the country's space agency, said that according to preliminary data, the debris fragment will fly close to the manned orbiting laboratory on November 12, which is Friday, at around 4 a.m. Moscow time, though. Moscow time, I think 7 hours from Hakkaila, Montreal, maybe 8. Or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on November 11th, so tomorrow night. 8 hours difference. They're plus. According to Russia's TASS news agency, the space agency added currently trajectories are being calculated and near miss parameters are being specified. Roscosmos said that the piece of space junk is said that a piece of space junk is a fragment of an old Chinese weather satellite called Fengyun 1C that was launched into space back in 1999. Not that old. China caused controversy by intentionally blowing the satellite up in 2007 as part of an anti-satellite weapon test. Wow. What a mess. So China caused controversy internationally blowing the satellite up in 2007 as part of an anti-satellite weapon test. Now, in a parallel life, yours truly, Adrian H. Dragan. Science, innovation, and technology would have been my chosen path, where satellites, ICBMs, supercomputers, and high-tech micro-gadgets would have been my chosen path. Being science, innovation, and technology, and constructing those gadgets would have known how to do this, how to developed in that parallel life satellites and supercomputers and micro-tech gadgets, and science, innovation, and technology being my universe. In this life, spirituality, psychology, sexuality, art, the irrational, occult, spiritual side, psychological, physical side. Speaking of physical, let's get physical. See, in this life, physicality, sexuality, spirituality, philosophy, art, the irrational, emotional, spiritual, artistic side. Are mostly, but know a little bit in theory about satellites and computers and Wi-Fi. A little bit. I'm learning them. Maybe in the next 11 days, 11 hours, we'll intersect, connect with my parallel life, and we'll know even more. And then that parallel where science, innovation, and technology said, no, I don't want nothing to do. I prefer my satellites, supercomputers, ICBMs, and microtech software gadgets and smartphones to your rapping and dancing and spirituality. My parallel self would want to do nothing to do with me. I say you're crazy, totally gone, insane. I'll stick to my satellites, science, technology, and keep your rapping and dancing and workouts. But nah, that would be superficial. I said, oh, well, the workout, it's kind of scientific, tell me more about it. And then my parallel self, where books, and libraries, and not that fit, but very fit mentally and brain-wise. But I envision my parallel self as a very skinny, lean, glass-wearing individual. Is it serious? So Roscosmos said that this piece of space junk is a fragment of an old Chinese weather satellite called Fengyang 1C that was launched into space back in 1999. China caused controversy by intentionally blowing up the satellite up in 2007 as part of an anti-satellite weapon test. The satellite's destruction caused thousands of space debris fragments to be scattered into Earth's orbit, according to some estimates. One conference paper authored partly by NASA, which we just read about, researchers refer to the destruction as the most severe artificial debris cloud. Debris, D-E-B-R-I-S. Debris is in junk. Debris is in debris. You know, like sand, like makes you think of sand particles. Cloud in Earth orbit since the beginning of space exploration. Wow, it's quite a mess. Quite a mess. Was about to comment and said I'm banned from commenting. First time that happened on the Microsoft. Said your name. That's the reason. Your profile name didn't meet our guidelines. That's my real name. I mean, it's changing the A into an O, but that is my real name. Whether you like it or not. Adrian H. Dragan, becoming Adrian Hanna Dragan, and has been becoming for a while. Let's work out the water fire. Ah, yes, that feels good. Oh. Aye. Yeah, I edit. Adrian Hanna Dragan. Adrian Hanna Dragan. Adrian Hanna Dragan. You're blocked from commenting. Your name doesn't what? At your request, we've reviewed your case and reversed the prior decision. Should be able to post again. Love you, Microsoft, Bill Gates, and founders and all that, but Adrian H. Dragonborn, becoming Adrian Hanna Dragon, and have been becoming for in this COVID with working out, training, dancing, exercising. Let's see. I'm still blocked. Another news. Big business bosses are warning that supply chain issues and inflation are here to stay. Oh, I'm still blocked, but it went from red, that little color, to oh, now been banned due to violations of our guidelines. Okay, well, they don't like us LGBTQ much. LGBTQ much. They put too many. Love you, LGBTQ fam. Anyways, doesn't matter if comment or not. Big business bosses are warning that supply chain issues and inflation are here to stay. Inflation sucks. Be affected by it. And we'll work out some more. Oh, yes. Let's go. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel good. Oh. Big business bosses are warning that supply chain issues and inflation are here to stay. That sucks. Montreal police investigating reporting of MOB, My boss in RDP, Réseau de Prairie. Quebec civil servants prepare for gradual return to the office. The countries whose currencies are worthless. Worthless? What do you mean? Because they're like hyperinflated and they're like, oh, this should be interesting. Can you imagine having to carry cash? What does it say? Hold on. Can you imagine having to carry your cash around in a laundry bag? Just was it the laundry? Or wheelbarrow just to have enough just to have enough money to buy a loaf of bread, plagued by serious devaluation. Yeah, makes me think of Weimar Germany, the Deutschmark, and the Hungarian, foreign. Serious devaluation. This is the reality in some nations, as their currencies are not worth the paper they're printed on. From the collapsing Venezuelan bolivar to the ailing Iranian rial. Read on as we reveal the world's most worthless money. All conversions are based on XC currency charts and are accurate as of November 10, 2021. Oh, it's already November 11th. Oh, we just passed midnight, a few minutes. Wow, so the sun's rising now. So the most worthless currencies. Let's see. Cambodian riel during the rule of Communist Party of Kampuchea. $1. American is 4,063. Wow. Cambodian from Cambodia riel. Wow. Paraguayan, in Paraguay, Guarani. $1 of US is equal to 6,881 Paraguayan Guarani. Wow. Paraguayan Guarani. Ghanaian franc. 1 United States dollar is 9,588 Ghanaian franc. Wow. Franc. Ghana. Laotian kip. When Laos declared independence from France in 1952. Laotian kip, 1 US dollar equals 10,500 lakh. Laotian kip. Wow. Laos. Uzbekistani sum, 1 US dollar equals 10,683 currency from Uzbekistan, 1 US dollar. Sierra Leone, 1 US dollar equal 10,891 Sierra Leone, the currency in Sierra Leone. Wow. You have bills that are 10,000, which is basically a US dollar. Indonesian rupiah, $1 US equals 14,247. IDR. The Indonesian rupiah fell victim to the Asian financial